welcome to Katie's Corner, where this is a channel where we talk about basically whatever I want to talk about. We really go over a lot of different things, including news, current events, politics, finance, sometimes entertainment, and to me, most importantly, stimulus, because right now, I want to make sure I help you guys get as much money as possible or know what's coming down the pipeline, because 2020 is the never-ending reality show that just gets weirder and more scary, as many of you guys know. So if you saw earlier the video that I put out, I want to go ahead and give you guys an update, and this is a very good update. We have updates from Miss Nancy Pelosi herself, Blowout Nance. Take it away, Nance.
To be clear, you're not taking any arrows out of your quiver. You're not ruling anything out.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Wait, hold on. Nancy has one more thing to say I want to go over.
So we have arrows in our quiver.
Yes, girl, get them quivers. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, this is an inside joke from the other channel that I had with Nancy Pelosi. Good Sunday morning. And then the other thing was, she's like, when asked if they were going to impeach the president, she goes, "We have many arrows in our quiver." And my ignorant you-know-what had no, I still don't, like, what is a quiver? To me, that sounded like something you were going to hear in like a 50 Shades of Something book, and I was dying laughing. I'm like, what is she talking about? And then my fine audience let me know a quiver is what you hold arrows on. I'm sorry, how many people are just like, I'm going to take an archery class in high school? My high school didn't have something like that. That sounds like some white people money that I did not grow up with. Thank you to those of you who either know what it is or did grow up with money, or you didn't and you're just more intelligent than I am. Kudos to you. But I still love it. I'm sorry. Arrows in our quiver makes me giggle. So, Nancy Pelosi, apparently this is where we are at right now. Stimulus talks have restarted. Yay! When it comes to the White House. The White House and the Democrats have restarted the dimulus, y'all. It's too early for me to form my words. Dictation. Y'all, I don't know if you guys know this, I was a trained classical singer for like 8 years. Like, studied opera music. No freaking joke. Dictation was always important. What was it? It was like something on the tip of the teeth. Like, it was ridiculous. It was like, if you feel like you've overdone your dictation, like forming your words, forming the vowels and the consonants, then you're in the right place when you feel like you're super exaggerating. Dictation. Anyways, dimulus news. Let's get into dimulus news. When it comes to stimulus, this is where we are at. We have had a couple pieces of stimulus pass, which is awesome. So there's one I'm going to get into later. It's the stopgap. But then the one that we just actually talked about today, if you haven't heard, please go check, because we did have stimulus pass. And this was on Thursday. So on Thursday, the House passed a slimmed down version of the HEROES Act. And it's basically the same as the HEROES Act. It's just we're going to shorten the time frames on stuff. So it's going to be the $600 a week unemployment, the $1,200 stimulus checks, but they do add some other things in there. They add hazard pay, which is one thing people have just kind of not talked about at all. PPP money, money for state and local, testing, tracing, treatment, all of that stuff. However, I don't think it has, and everybody else is kind of saying it doesn't really have a shot to get passed in the Senate unless, behind the scenes, Miss Nancy Pelosi and company can come to an agreement with the White House, because the White House is going to have to sell this. Now, as you guys know, we have some wrenches that have been thrown, stuff I don't think any of us saw coming. And it's funny, because why couldn't we have seen it coming? But I think, this is what happens in a situation like a pandemic, where you kind of get complacent and you might think it's over. But apparently, like, half the White House and the president and the first lady have the virus. So the White House were the big pushers, and now just because the president is not there right now, he is at Walter Reed Hospital. We will go over the details later, because that is a very scary situation. Granted, he's got the best doctors in the world, so, hopefully he will be okay. That's what we all want to hope for. I would hope, as decent people, even if we don't like him or disagree with him, we would want them to come out okay. At least that's my philosophy. My philosophy is I don't wish death on people. I really don't, even people who've done me horribly dirty, because I like to be somebody who tries to rise above it. Instead of wishing death, I would like to pray that everybody becomes the best people that they can, and we all find peace. That's what I like to pray for in situations. That's just me. You do whatever you want to do, but this is what helps me be happy and find peace in my life. But he is in the hospital, but that doesn't necessarily matter, because we have Stephen Mnuchin and we have Mark Meadows, who have been meeting behind closed doors, and it looks like the talks are productive. So right now, here's where we are at. The Democrats in the House are at $2.2 trillion, while the White House, who is Republican run, is at 1.6. So we have 0.6 that is dividing us. Instead, before where we had like 2.2 trillion. Crazy. We just had a huge, huge gap, if not bigger. And now that gap is, the shorter and shorter we make that gap, the quicker it is that we get to some type of resolution that is very helpful. Unfortunately, the Democrats haven't really wanted to do much. All they have done is shorten the time frames on things. They haven't really relented, where the Republicans in the White House, especially the White House, has been relenting to anything they want. So it's very good news, because we have an article of information that just came out, and this morning we have Nancy Pelosi, who is everywhere, and she is talking about the fact that she thinks the president being sick could push stimulus over the edge, which it absolutely could. And this is something I have been talking about in the videos the last couple days right now, where nobody wants to see the president sick. So take this with a big grain of salt, and please don't take this offensively when I say I do think in really horrible situations, there's always a silver lining, even if we can't see it, even if we don't know it's there. To me, that's called having faith that everything will work out for everybody's best and highest good, even if it doesn't look like the outcome that you want. That's how I look at something like that, just so you guys are aware. But when it comes to President Trump, we hope he gets better quickly. The silver lining is him having the virus may push things over the edge to be able to get a deal quicker, because the House was going to go on recess, and upon hearing what's going on with President, and this week they had said, we're going to go ahead and wait till the election to vote. We're going to go ahead and not vote on something, which had everybody up in arms. But considering what's going on with the president and the fact that half the White House is now sick with the virus, the House has now stayed, and they passed this new HEROES Act that's slimmed down. So I think it could go either way, if I'm being honest with you. I think at this point, when it comes to this situation, the president being sick could mean a couple different things. So the president being sick could go the way of it's going to push stimulus quicker, because now it's become a big emergency, or it could be delayed more. And I think we have to wait to look for the signs to see where all that's at and what's going to happen there, unfortunately. So it's just a patience game at the moment to see exactly what's going to happen with that and where that's going to go. However, I want to go ahead and pull up the information, because this is good information, and it's good to hear anybody from any side pushing for stimulus for us. So let me go ahead and pull up the article. It's not a huge article, so I'm just going to go ahead and read it to you here. So this is from USA Today. It says, Pelosi is optimistic of a stimulus deal, saying Trump's virus diagnosis changes the dynamic. Fingers crossed, girl. I'll be on your side there. Washington. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said Friday she was optimistic about the chances of a deal on virus stimulus, arguing in a television interview President Donald Trump's positive virus diagnosis changes the dynamic. She is right. I think we're coming to terms in terms of the money on crushing the virus finally, but it's the language that is important, she said in an interview with MSNBC. Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin have resumed negotiations as both sides crawl toward an agreement to restore urgently needed aid. The two spoke again by phone on Friday for about a half hour and discussed areas of disagreement. Spokesperson Drew Hamill said, Pelosi was tested for the virus out of an abundance of caution, after Trump and White House advisor Hope Hicks tested positive and Pelosi tested negative later Friday, according to Hamill. Can I just go over this, because this is going to bother me real quick? I don't like Pelosi. We've caught her lying too much, and she could have helped the American people and decided not to, because in my opinion, she's being selfish, in my opinion. However, I breathe a sigh of relief when she is tested negative. You know why? Just because I don't like somebody, just because I think somebody is doing harm to other people, just because I really don't like somebody, doesn't mean I wish them illness or death, because I feel like as a society, we should be better than that. It's bothering me how many people seem to be exuberatingly happy about the fact that our president and first lady are sick. Don't like them. Don't like their policies. Don't like things they've done. Don't like things they've said. Disagree with them. Hate them. Don't wish death and destruction on somebody. I don't know. To me, it's just common sense. It bothers me. So, in a letter to House Democrats, Pelosi said, our negotiation with the administration continues, and I am hopeful that we can reach an agreement. She outlined the remaining sticking points in negotiations: unemployment insurance, funding for schools, state and local, child tax credits, testing, tracing, treatment, appropriations for Democrat priorities like transit. Something else this is leaving out is that she's also in that bill, it leaves money for the Postal Service as well, because, they want to sway the election in their favor. She's not gonna piecemeal any part of the deal except for the post office. Oh, and a stopgap so she can get paid. That's why I don't like Pelosi. But you know what? I don't want her to be sick. Miss Pelosi, I know you would never watch this because you are busy, but if you ever did, I am so happy that you are in good health. So, says the Democrat-held House of Representatives voted along mostly party lines Thursday evening to pass a revised virus relief bill opposed by the Republican-controlled Senate. The proposal, a pared-down version of the HEROES Act, passed by House Democrats in May, would allot $2.2 trillion in relief funds. Republican senators have balked at a higher price tag for more relief. House Democrats acknowledged the proposal was unlikely to become law, but viewed the bill as another marker in the ongoing negotiations. The negotiations come as many of the benefits previously approved by Congress have already run out. The $600 federal boost to unemployment benefits ran out in July. A loan forgiveness program for small businesses expired, and airlines have warned of mass layoffs and furloughs after their billions of dollars in federal payroll assistance expired October 1st. There you go. Pelosi called on the airlines to halt their furloughs and layoffs Friday, saying in a statement the House would either pass a standalone bill on airline relief or include airline assistance in a larger virus relief package. As relief for airline workers is being advanced, the airline industry must delay these devastating job cuts, she said. Republicans also seemed more optimistic about a deal. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, speaking at a news conference in Kentucky, said we're closer to getting an outcome. You've seen the back and forth between the House and the Trump administration, and I'm trying to figure out here whether I should predict another bill quickly or not. But the talks have speeded up in the last couple of days. He said, I think we're closer to getting an outcome, which is fantastic. You have now Mitch McConnell, who we will do in another video and we will talk about. Mitch McConnell is now speaking out saying, I think we're going to have something pass soon, as well as we have Nancy Pelosi, who is on the train of wanting to get something done.
It's great to be here. This has ended up being quite a big news day. So I think what I'll do first is talk about what I was originally coming here to talk about, so we don't leave that out, and then I'll address some of the issues of the day that have developed that I know a lot of you are interested in. William mentioned the CARES Act. To take you back to the beginning of the year, we in the Senate started off with an impeachment trial, about as partisan an activity as you can imagine, and as soon as that ended, we got hit with the pandemic, and we were given the most incredible advice, but good advice, by the nation's top infectious disease experts that we needed to basically shut the economy down and send everybody home. So we had both a 100-year healthcare pandemic and an economic crisis all at once. What to do? Well, what we ended up doing was the CARES Act that William referred to, that along with a couple of other companion pieces of legislation in March and April, basically flooded the country with $3 trillion in borrowed money to try to attack both the health problem and the economic crisis created by the health problem. In that, of course, there was a considerable amount of money for a variety of different activities. We have people from state government here. Kentucky got $12 billion out of that. About $1 billion of the 12 went to hospitals like this one. $5.2 billion in loans were drawn down by 50,000 Kentucky small businesses through the popular PPP loan program. And I think clearly we did float the economy, because it had gone from a 50-year best in February down to a depression level in about 2.5 months. Do we need to do more? We do. And that's been a struggle, because we overcame all of the partisan juices that were flowing in a presidential year back in March and April, and managed to come together and pass the CARES Act without a single dissenting vote. But as time passed and the campaign heated up, it became more difficult. As all of you know, the talks continue. I'll get back to that in a minute. But for this hospital in particular, just to put the particulars on it, and for this county in particular, Philip and Damon and others, Mark, Scott County got $13 million. $6.6 million out of the provider fund came to you, William. The Medicare Accelerated Payment Program, just this week, we passed a law to delay repayment and to reduce the interest rate on that, and you got $4.3 million out of that particular pool. And over at Georgetown College, they got a little less than $1 million. So as you can see, the CARES Act spread the funding all across the economy, both on the healthcare side and on the economic side. So that gives you an example of what it meant to this county and this hospital in particular. Now, with regard to the way forward, the talks continue. You've seen the back and forth between the House and the Trump administration, and I'm trying to figure out here whether I should predict another bill quickly or not, but the talks have speeded up in the last couple of days, led by the Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin for the administration, and of course the Speaker carries the ball for the Democrats, and I'm in the discussions as well. But the question is, when will we get this behind us? Testing, treatment, and vaccines have been pursued. If you're familiar with World War II history, they called the effort to get the atomic bomb to end the war with Japan the Manhattan Project. We're pursuing better testing, better treatment, and a vaccine in the same way that we pursued the atomic bomb during the Manhattan Project, with total focus. No corners are going to be cut. The FDA is not going to put their stamp of approval on any vaccine that doesn't work, but we're optimistic that we're going to get one or more vaccines through these clinical trials that are all going on several different ones in the very near future.
So again, guys, I want to say I believe this is fantastic that we right now are in a situation where we have both sides saying we are optimistic. Let's push stimulus to get to a better place, which it sounds like we have that now from both the Republicans and the Democrats. As we know, Mitch McConnell's a Republican and Nancy Pelosi is a Democrat. Now, what's going to happen with this? Like I said, only time will tell at this point, but it makes me very, very happy and very hopeful that both sides are both pushing for something. They're pushing for something quickly, and as much as I don't want the president to be sick, I hope the only good thing that can come out of this situation is we're going to get more help that we need, and we're going to get it quicker because we've all been suffering. We all need help. So guys, if you like this video and you want to support this channel, which I would greatly appreciate right now, please like the video, subscribe, hit notifications so you can be notified daily what's coming out of the pipeline for you and your stimulus money. Comment, sound off. I'd like to hear everything. Multiple comments are always welcome too. Every comment helps this channel. And guys, please share this content with as many people as you know that are struggling right now. People who are on unemployment, waiting for unemployment, waiting for stimulus checks, SBA loan and grant issues, and everything in between. I've got tons of tools and tons of resources, and I'd love to be able to help everybody as much as I can through this difficult time. And guys, as you know, I left my former channel and I am on my own. I'm not monetized. So anything you can do with liking, commenting, sharing, all of that helps boost my videos. I've got to get, and I'll give you guys a quick update. Got to get to 4,000 hours watch time. As of yesterday, you guys have me over halfway there. We're at 1,200. So anything you can do, if you want to watch this video more than once, all of that helps me get watch time, helps get the videos out to people, and I can finally rebuild. Once I get monetized, depending on how well YouTube lets me do, I can come back and start doing the gift card giveaways, which you guys know, if you guys weren't here before, on my channel, I was giving out $100 gift cards daily, and I loved doing it. But Mama's broke now with everything going on, so I can't do that yet, but anything you guys could do to help me is so appreciated. Y'all know me. I loathe asking you guys for help on anything because I know you guys are in situations I want to be the one to help you. But I'm going to humble myself and say I would love any help you guys can give me on this channel at the moment. So, okay guys, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for listening to my insight on things. It's been Katie's Insight. And I guess until the next video, take care. And we're just going to continue to talk about stimulus and show you the path on where your money is going. Bye guys.